Welcome to Northeast Packard Classic Cars. Hi, I'm Rich Benatti, and when you first come into our complex, you're going to notice that the first vehicle you see is actually not a Packard. Most of the cars that we do are actually not Packards. Okay, they're all different types of cars from 1900 to around 1970. This particular vehicle is a 1917 Traffic, and each vehicle that comes into our complex has a story. Some are short, some are long. Some stories are about just fixing a small problem that the car might have on a restored vehicle, and others have a full restoration that we can absolutely do. This particular truck was owned by a good friend of mine, who passed away. His father actually owned the franchise in Mattituck, Long Island, where these Traffic trucks were sold. This particular truck happened to be an ice truck, which would deliver ice to people in Mattituck and Southall. 1917 truck, and hopefully we're going to be restoring the entire thing, and I'll be able to preserve this in not only in memory but also in honor of my friend. We're going to move back here to one of the frames because we do frame up restorations. Cars will come in, and depending on what the customer wants, we'll actually take the car completely apart, right down to every nut and bolt, and then put the frame on a rotisserie. Our show will be primarily about the process of restoring classic cars, start to finish. And also small projects. A lot of the cars that come in that need service are actually cars that might have one or two small problems, and we'll talk about those problems and how they're solved. The other neat thing about the show is I have an array of different characters. A lot of people that I know that are that work with me hand in hand to make these cars turn out as well as they do. We have a whole paint shop. Anthony's Custom Cars does all our paint work. I have Darren St. George and his wife, who we come down periodically to just keep me on track and make sure that all our information is correctly cataloged. We have a wonderful secretary, Josephine, who worked for Eastern Coach for at least 20 years, and her familiarity with cars is unbelievable. She can order a part from a 1923 Whippet and have it here within a few days and have the correct part. We also have two excellent mechanics, Hugo and Mikkel, which I met many years ago. They were working on a project with me, and they turned out to be two of the most incredible young men that I've ever met, that have a great pair of hands and are able to turn a piece of rust into something beautiful. As we move this way, we're going to come into the shop. Well, we have a very interesting car. It's a 1953 Packard station wagon. I met this man who owns the car actually just through phone correspondence. And he read my article about the Packard Woody that we built that won Concours d'Elegance just a few years ago and set some records for both the price paid at an auction and the highest price paid for that particular car. He sent the car here. It was at the Packard Museum in Warren, Ohio. This is a 1953 Packard custom-bodied Woody. There's only one in the world. This particular car was sent to Costa Rica, where it was rebodied in wood, and through the owner's specifications at the time, they took a sedan, split it, and joined these sections to it, and then they did a really nice job in making the wood sort of complement the body of the car. This particular car, like I say, there's only one. They also offered this little feature, which is pretty neat. It's a tool compartment, which is a European type of thing. And again, I guess the connection between Costa Rica and the owner of the car, he wanted this European thing where people would have tools to repair the car if they had some kind of mishap on the road. Rolls-Royce actually, in 1911, had a tool compartment right under the hood with specific tools to repair each and every part of the car. As we move this way, this particular car, 1941 Packard 160 Deluxe, very, very rare. They made a lot of 160s, but the 160 Deluxe was actually reserved for the custom body catalog of Packard in 1941. Had a lot of different little things, like wood grain reveals on the windowsills and extra trim. We're doing a roundup on this, and you can see that the body has been painted. We have all the body components, all the doors and so forth have been fitted to the car, and now the engine and all these different parts are being assembled into it. Each little detail is being taken care of, like little rubbers that are being reproduced. and the car is put together just the way it would be back in 1941. I'd like to finish with this 56 Packard. Has only 29,000 original miles. It's a 56 Packard Caribbean. I love Packards, and I think this is probably one of the reasons why the company went under. In 1956, they tried to introduce this, rather than have a shift lever, they tried to do this. But it was electronically would index the transmission. And also they had a load leveling ride control thing on the car, which gave them a lot of trouble. In fact, the records show that most of these cars spent most of the time in the shop, and Packard lost a lot of money. Beautiful car though, 29,000 original miles. We're putting on the top. Right now we're fitting it, making sure every single seam fits perfectly, and we're allowing for stretching and movement of the top. We have to move it up and down. All the windows have to strike properly, and then the car will be given back. I have a passion for cars. I hope you join us every week, and every week we'll have a different topic to talk about, and hopefully we'll answer any question you might have. Might not be in the first episode, but we'll definitely cover it at one time or another. Thank you. Enjoy Northeast Packard classic cars.